Hi, we're Zach and Joyce Sale, and we are going to Bulgaria, Sofia, Bulgaria. Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria. It's actually a big city. A lot of times when I think of missions, I think of like going to Africa or somewhere that doesn't have electricity or water or anything. But Sofia is actually a big city, and they have a subway system and fast internet and all of that. But people everywhere still need Jesus, no matter if they have water or they don't. So that's where we feel that God has been calling us through. We got to spend a whole summer there and do an internship where we learn more about what it means to be a Christian and who God is, and then just see God moving in the city of Bulgaria, of Sofia, and just how important it is to shine God's light as you're doing everything, which you can do no matter where you are or who you're with. It doesn't have to be in another country or anything like that. We just feel like that's where God's sending us.
Hi, I'm Zach. We got into missions. All of our journey to get into the mission field has started a long time ago, probably when we were about your age or maybe even younger. For me, it started when I was in middle school. I took a short trip to Jamaica and we did a lot of work. We mixed concrete. We moved cinder blocks down a 200-yard hill, all for the purpose of building terraces for a orphanage in Jamaica. It was a great experience. I loved doing it, and that was my thought of what missions was. However, it wasn't until I finished college and got to go on a second mission trip that I realized that it's not all about sweating. It's not all about moving heavy things and doing some hard labor. It's also about relationship. It's also about getting to know people. And ultimately, it's about sharing what God has done in my life and sharing that with other people. So right after college, I got to go to Italy to teach English as a second language. And during that time, I had so much fun. I got to know people there. I got to eat great food. I got to play a lot of soccer. I got to get to know some people, all while trying to learn Italian. And I also got to share my testimony. And throughout that time, it was God reshaping my image of what missions is like. And so when Joy and I got married about 4 years ago now, that it was at that time that we were able to go to Bulgaria in 2017 and spend the summer, like she was saying, learning more about God's plan for us and what God is calling us to do in our lives. And we felt called back.
My story started when I was in middle school, and I was at a camp kind of like this one where they share the gospel and they talk about missions, and that was how it started. I was hearing them talk about missions and sharing the gospel with people overseas, and I just felt like God was tugging at my heart saying, this is for you, this is what I have for you. And so I decided to pursue it because I felt like that was God's will. And so in college, I thought I'll major in nursing because nursing really applies to anywhere you go in the world. And so I started that. I went for nursing, and as I was going through nursing school, before nursing school, it became apparent through some mistakes that I made that I didn't know I was making at the time. And my path got changed. And so I didn't end up doing nursing, but I did get to meet my husband when we were in college. And so God used that in my story to direct me to where I am now. But it definitely wasn't the way that I had planned. And so that was really cool, just seeing God open doors and use my desires with his will and just changing it a little bit to a little bit different direction. And so that's how I met him, and we got married, and we started pursuing missions, and I just saw that like God working in our lives to point us in this direction. So now we are connected with Bulgaria. We spent summer there, and we really connected with the people, and we got to hear a pastor literally say to us, he didn't know that we were interested, but he said, like, if you're willing and able, we need people to come and just be hands, be a part of the harvest of like preaching the gospel and sharing the good news of Christ, because there's just not enough people to do that. And so through that, we really felt like that was one of the indicators of God just really pulling us back to Bulgaria.
So who of you like to be outside? Who likes to play soccer? Who likes to go to the playground? You might be too old for that, but we still like to go to the playground too. But one of the ways that we want to interact with Bulgarians and get to know them better is through hospitality. Some of that is having Bulgarians come over and eat dinner with us, play card games with us, play board games with us, Yahtzee, as well as going to parks and getting to know friends that are our same age, that have kids that are the same age as our kids. We have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old. So does anyone have little siblings at home? Then you know what I'm talking about. They love some playground time. Another way we want to get involved is through soccer. I look forward to joining a soccer club and meeting men and young men who are about my age and inviting them to church and sharing the gospel with them. We also are going to be involved in English Club. It's a way that Bulgarians, even though they learn English in school, that they can learn conversational English, that they can speak sentences more clearly through that. And the last way that we want to help the church plant that we will be a part of is something that Joy is going to tell us about.
Yeah, our team has a ministry that works with women that are hurting and broken and have been through a lot. And so we hope to come in and just share the love of Christ and the hope of the gospel and just say, you are loved, you are whole, and you are beautiful. Because that is just so important for them when they've been through a lot, to just share love and kindness and the hope of the gospel, because that's what it's all about.
So you may be asking, what can I do? Well, there are just a couple of things. First, pray. We need prayer for our small family to go through all the transition that is ahead of us. We will need the supernatural power of Jesus Christ to act physically in our lives to get through this time. Pray for the Bulgarians. Pray that their hearts would be receptive to hear the gospel that has changed our lives, and we hope to share with them. Pray for the team that we're going to join. It's 7 people that are on the ground, boots on the ground already. And so we are looking forward to join forces with them and share the gospel through the church plant that is growing. The second way that you can do something is through sharing. You can share with others what you have experienced through Christ. You can share with people as you go, at the playground, as you go and play, as you work, as you go to and from school. I know this time has been a little bit different, but as you go to the store, you can share with others what Jesus has done inside of you. And that is how each and every one of us can increase the kingdom of God.